This black box is my model of the human brain. And this black box makes hundreds of decisions every day, making you decision-making units. Unfortunately, with outdated software. Because the software in that black box is survival software. Its main goal is to keep you alive. And sometimes that software is not compatible with the information avalanche we are facing in the 21st century. And science is trying to make sense of that black box. Biology, behavioral psychology, neurosciences, everybody has a view on that black box. But you know what? The features of a black box are that you don't know what is going on inside the black box. And basically, you and I, we are living in a world of black boxes. Do you know how your navigation system works? Do you know how your cell phone works? To us, they are black boxes. In science, a black box is something where information gets in through our eyes, through our ears, through our skin. Then something happens inside the black box. We don't know exactly what. And then something comes out. And when it comes to the black box of our brain, it is muscle movement. Like me doing my arm, or me talking to you, making my tongue and my throat move to produce sound. And we call that behavior. And science wants us to believe that the brain has some certain specifics. For example, it's saying when you think of a cat, this part of the brain lights up. And when you think of the coming chocolate this afternoon, this part of the brain is showing up. But you know what? In reality, it's much more complicated. And not only that, in a few months, with new research, with new insights, the way we think about the brain has completely changed. But what fascinates me is the size difference. This is what we think we know about the brain today, and this is this black box, that amazing organ in your head. And in that black box, several processes are going on. I want to do one with you to start with. This is a standard paper with a thickness of 0.1 millimeter. And my question to you is, can you estimate how long will the pile be if you can fold it 50 times? So, folding 50 times. How big will the pile of paper be? If you want, you have a batch with a paper in it. You can try for a minute. Does anyone have a clue? 5 centimeters. Okay, anyone more than 5 centimeters? 2 meters. It's 112.9 million kilometers. And that's one thing going on in our brain. We hear a simple story about 50 times 0.1 millimeters. We do a simple test, folding it 3 or 4 times, and then say, well, 2 centimeter, 20 centimeter. And then you think you overestimate. But the process in your brain is programmed for survival. and it doesn't want to spend energy to things it doesn't classify as important to survive. Because when you put in the energy and took a calculator or an Excel spreadsheet, you could have found the answer very easily. Another thing. You recognize this? I love them. Imagine you are an entrepreneur on a farmer's market. So you are the decision maker. You sell homemade cookies and, of course, those fabulous donuts. Normally, you sell them for 75 cents. But this week you have an offer. 5 for $3. Now a customer comes along and says, dear friend, can I have 6 of those amazing donuts of you? What do you charge me? 75 cents each, 5 for $3, and your customer orders 6. Anyone for 175 or 375? Okay, see a few hands. Anyone for $3.60? $3.60? Okay, can you explain why? For the people that came to 375, let's do a role reversal. Imagine you are the customer now. Do you think 375 is fair? Paying 15 cents more for the last donut, so the first 5 are 60 cents each, and the last is more expensive. The thing is, there's no good answer. What I want to point out to you is that despite you have biologically almost exactly the same brains, because of your experience, your different experience, you are wired differently. And that's why some brains come up with 375, others with 360, some with 350, and sometimes there's even a person that says that 6-1 is for free. Last week I had someone in the audience, he said 450, and everybody looked at him, including me. I never heard that. He said, well, it's easy. They're 75 cents each, 6 donuts, 450, and when the customer says, no, 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 there's a special offer, I say, oh, sorry, I forgot. On trainings, on conferences, you hear all kinds of people talking about the brain models. For example, the left part being the logic, and maybe they even taught you to remember it with the L making with your left brain, L for left, combined to the L from logic. Please do yourself a favor and forget that. The truth is that your brain is almost fully operational, almost all the time. And if you want to make a model of the brain, please use my model, the black box. And when you want to make sections, then there's only one relevant section. That is the inside and the 0.5 centimeter on the outside, just below your skull. That is where your inner voice, your conscience is. So most of your brain is the unconscious part. And that's also responsible for most of your decisions. And when it comes to decisions, the topic of this speech this afternoon, it has to make very easy decisions, everyday decisions, but also tough decisions. And toughness of a decision can lie in the several stages of decision making. It can be tough to gather information. It can be tough to get the options. It can be tough to implement what you decided.